Fox News alert on a stunning new spin on the Democrats' anti-police rhetoric. And it comes from Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, whose city is reeling from a spike in violent crime, and she now blames it on the police. This is Outnumbered. I'm Emily Campagno. I'm joined by my co-host Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany, host of Kennedy on Fox Business Kennedy, and in the center seat, the Federalist senior editor Chris Bedford. Now, Minneapolis is seeing a dramatic increase in lawlessness, with murders up a whopping 116%, and other violent crimes jumping by 30% since 2019. So what's Congresswoman Omar's solution to all this? Well, she's backing a ballot measure to replace the entire city police force, as she blames the officers themselves for the crime spike. Watch.
The reduction in policing currently in our city and the lawlessness that is happening is due to two things. One, the police have chosen to not fulfill their oath of office and to provide the public safety they are owed to the citizens they serve. The Minneapolis Police Department is the most dysfunctional police department in our state and probably in the country.
Kayleigh, how dare she say those officers don't uphold their oath? They put their lives on the line every day, and all too often they don't come home. Meanwhile, she says this behind the safety of her private security team she has spent thousands on to procure for herself.
Yeah, how much of a dense ideologue can you be? You know, she's attacking her police officers and her city and endangering her city in doing so. Not only that, damaging her party, politically speaking. If you'll remember, after the the presidential election, there's a little bit of a shellacking in the House level of things. It was not, by any stretch, a good congressional election for the Democrats. So there was this conference call that Nancy Pelosi had, and a more moderate Democrat who won narrowly a red seat in Virginia, Abigail Spanberger, said, guys, let's stop saying defund the police. Her exact words were this: I've heard from you all, oh, this is the language of the streets, we should respect that, but we're in Congress, we are professionals. If we are classifying Tuesday as a success from a congressional standpoint, we are bleeping going to get torn apart in 2022. This was a Democrat saying this to her party, but what did Nancy Pelosi do? She pushed back on the moderate Democrat. She is the enabler of this dense ideologue, Ilhan Omar. Pelosi is. She's propping up these voices in her party. And I can tell you, the crazies, Ilhan Omar, AOC, Rashida Tlaib, these anti-police individuals, they are going to be the face of the midterms in 2022. And I guarantee you that moderate Democrat, her prediction's going to come true. It's going to be a shellacking for the Democrats because of language like you just heard.
And Kennedy, Minneapolis right now is in its most violent two-year period in a generation. In its most bloody chapter, it was referred to as Murderopolis, the city of wakes. Now, they surpassed those statistics a long time ago. The audacity of Omar to blame cops for the policy failures that have led to this.
Yeah, I don't understand why she's not addressing people who commit murder. And, you know, the lack of respect for human life and basic decency, because, you know, really it's on the person who is committing the crime. And, you know, certainly you can look back and say there might have been some failures along the way, but to take all responsibility away from them is it's completely illogical. But then she's being swallowed whole by her own illogic, because she's saying, hey, there aren't enough police officers around. So, you know, then I guess what you could assume is that anytime someone's walking down the street and they don't see cops, they're just going to start killing people. I don't think that is the trigger for people to commit homicide and violent crimes. So she is asking to defund the police. She wants Department of Public Safety and no longer a police department. And then when there are not enough police there, she's blaming them for not fulfilling their oath, which she is trying to take away from them. The whole thing makes absolutely no sense, and I'm stunned by someone who's so lacking in basic reason how they are reelected.
And Chris, one of the residents that lived in the more violent neighborhoods there said people who advocate for defunding the police, they don't live here. They don't live in these affected areas. He said the people who live in the north side, They want competent, just policing. That's what they're advocating for. Just how wrong and how safe is Omar?
That's exactly right. And the people who are suffering in D.C., where I live, are the people who live in the less safe neighborhoods. It makes national news when someone is shot by Nationals Park, but you never hear about it when people are shot at some kind of neighborhood cookout or just walking through the park with their daughter and gunned down here in Washington, D.C. and all across the country. Now, the police are doing their jobs as best as they possibly can. The people who aren't doing their jobs are the politicians and the attorneys general who make charges, like the charges against the Minneapolis police officer that just dropped this week over being involved in a tragic and fatal car accident while chasing a suspect, immediately going to charge the police. Here in D.C., we just had 4 shootings just a few blocks away in a single night. The police are all over it. They're putting their lives on the line. But when they arrest people dealing drugs, they arrest people with weapons, they arrest people who are preying on the mentally ill and preying on the poor, then there are no charges ever come, and the politicians don't have their backs.
Harris, you hosted a special for Fox Nation on first responders, and a firefighter in Minneapolis wrote an op-ed, and he said, who do you think protects us while we're saving lives? Who do you think clears the streets as we're trying to get to victims? So the notion that public safety doesn't include law enforcement is so naive.
Who do you think answers the call and gets to her house if Ilhan Omar has to call 911? Yeah. Who do you think's coming? The police. Okay? I mean, I don't know what else is in her constellation outside of first responders, those essential workers, those police. And I want to point out the kind of journey that Minneapolis, my former home, where I met my hubby, we were both on air there, and we love Minneapolis. And we've looked at a journey that was so painful over the last year and a half. And it's been one that was about violence in the streets. And you'll notice that when they found, and it's so correct to start with murder, when they found Derek Chauvin, a jury of his peers and the judge, when they announced that guilty verdict, the prosecutor got that conviction without playing the race card, without taking down police, because it wasn't about that, right? And without dividing the community further, right? He got his win based on what an Emily Campagno would do in a courtroom. You go with the evidence, you go with the facts. And now what Ilhan Omar is willing to do is make the rest of Minneapolis, outside of George Floyd as a victim in that, unsafe, based on some politics that we can't even, as Kennedy pointed out, Kennedy, my head was spinning when you were talking about what her politics are on this. I don't know. I don't know if she knows.
Exactly. And Chris, on that notion, so she's backing this bill that says we are going to turn everything into public safety, but that means that it doesn't include law enforcement. So to Harris's point, you can't have one without the other.
Exactly, you can't. Social workers do important work, and they put themselves into difficult situations all the time, but they're not the ones who can diffuse a lot of the situations that we're dealing with. They're not the ones that get a knife out of your hand. They're not the ones that you can call during an abusive situation and at your home or during a robbery. People are in trouble. And this spike in crime that we've seen all across the United States, where innocent people are being gunned down all the time and threatened and attacked and taken advantage of, this is not just coming out of thin air. This is not because of COVID. I'm sure they'd like to blame that. This is because of actual policies that are being pursued at all levels by attorneys general that have been elected across the United States, pushed by far-left groups and by the politicians who back them, and their colleagues in the Democratic Party who may not agree but are afraid to stand up against them.
Emily, one quick point. Minneapolis City Council vowed to end policing as we know it. 6 months later, they backed away from that because they saw this murder spike. Just want to point that out.
Do they have a number, like a magic number, that Ilhan Omar is trying to get to? Is it 0?
Oh, it's 0.
Like I'm curious.
She's completely trying to change it into the public safety department that does not include law enforcement. Is she going to be a cop? Is she learning law enforcement? No, but she's still paying for her private security team. The hypocrisy is alive and well, and as you pointed out, she'll likely be the poster child for 2022.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.